Over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack a pretty massive shift happening in corporate learning. The old ways are breaking down, and honestly, a whole new era is starting. Let's dive right in. This isn't just some catchy phrase, it's a real declaration. The time of the clunky, traditional learning management system, it's over. And in its place, this new, absolutely critical role is popping up, the learning engineer. This shift is really the heart of what we're going to explore. Okay, so that raises the big question, right? If the old way is on its way out, what's coming next? How are we all supposed to learn and grow in a world that's being powered by AI? Well, that's exactly what we're here to break down. All right, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with why this is all happening right now. Then we'll look at the blueprint for a new kind of learning. We'll introduce a new school, a framework to handle all this change, the tech ecosystem that powers it, and then wrap up with a look at the future we're all building. So first up, learning's AI moment. And yeah, as it says here, the storm is here. This isn't some gentle little breeze of change. We're talking about a major disruption for pretty much everyone in the learning and development world. To really get a sense of the scale here, just think back to that huge leap we all made from in-person classroom training to e-learning. Remember that? Well, the shift that's happening right now, it's every bit as big. It's a complete change in how we think about everything. It's really tempting to think AI is what created this problem, but that's not the whole story. The truth is, the old ways of doing corporate learning were already broken. They were too slow, too generic, and way too disconnected from how people actually work. All AI is doing is shining a huge, bright spotlight on the cracks that were already there. So, if the old building is crumbling, what are we going to build in its place? That brings us right to our second point, a new learning architecture. This is the vision for how learning needs to work from this point on. The first big piece of this new architecture is all about when and where we learn. We're getting away from those separate events, that mandatory training day you have to block off your whole calendar for. Instead, learning is going to be woven directly into your workflow, available at the exact moment you actually need it. Now, this next shift it's really deep because it's about who we are professionally. For decades, L&D pros were the people who built course catalogs and managed content. Now, their role is changing into something way more dynamic. They're becoming the architects of the intelligent systems that actually help people learn. And finally, the goal itself is changing. We are officially done with vanity metrics like course completions. The new goal is all about tangible, measurable impact. Did the learning actually make someone better at their job? Did it help the business get better results? Honestly, that's the only thing that's going to matter anymore. Look, this transformation is huge, and no one expects you to just figure it all out on your own. That's exactly where the School of Learning Engineers comes into play. It's designed to be the bridge that gets you from the old world to the new one. The school gives you a really clear three-step journey. It all starts with the basics, learning with AI yourself so you really get it. From there, you move on to designing totally new learning experiences using AI tools. And finally, you learn how to lead the entire learning transformation for your organization. It's a path from practitioner all the way to strategist. Okay, a new vision is great, but how do you actually manage this much change without going crazy? You need a map, and that's why we have the ARO Change Framework. So ARRO is this fantastic framework. It was actually born in Finland, and it's built specifically for navigating through ambiguity. In times like these, when things are so uncertain, it gives you a structured way to find new paths forward, even when you don't have all the answers right at the start. And the AARO process itself is so simple, but really powerful. It's an acronym: Open, Guess, Leap, and Realize. First, you open up the situation, figure out what the challenges are. Then you guess a direction you think might work. Next comes the fun part. You take a brave, small leap, like running a little experiment. And finally, you realize the insights together, learning from that leap to figure out your next move. The school and the framework are really important pieces of a much bigger picture. So now let's zoom out and take a look at the Swarm Mind ecosystem, which is really a whole new category of learning technology. The whole ecosystem has four main parts that all work together. You've got the core AI-powered platform, a team of specialized AI assistants, the School of Learning Engineers that we just talked about, and then the tools for companies to build their own custom learning agents. Okay, this comparison chart really nails it. On the left, you have traditional training, which is all about just transferring information. In the middle, you have your typical AI startups who are mostly focused on making things faster through automation. But SwarmMind, over here on the right, is playing a totally different game. The focus isn't just on info or speed, it's on creating new capability. The question we're asking shifts from what do people need to study to how do people become more capable? And that, right there, is a fundamental change in what we're trying to achieve. So where is all of this going? Let's take a look at the roadmap and the actual concrete steps being taken to build this future. Here's the vision for the next 5 years or so. We're talking about a world where teams of specialized AI agents all work together. A world where every single company builds its own custom learning agents, kind of like how every company has a website today. A world where learning is truly real-time for everyone. The whole ecosystem is designed to be the foundation to make that happen. And look, this isn't just a dream. There's a very clear plan here. The foundational work is done. We're already moving into pilots with the tools for everyone else to build on releasing later this year. All of this leads to a global ecosystem and marketplace launching in 2027 and beyond. The momentum is real, and this future is being built as we speak. And that really brings us to the key takeaway from all of this. This future isn't something that's just happening to us. It's being actively designed and built right now. So the only question left is the one you see on the screen. Are you just going to watch it happen, or are you going to be one of its architects?